All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone, who rule very well, very beautifully. Double salutations to the Akim who push this gospel in truth and in sincerity to the best of their ability, given to them by Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Peace, blessings, and salutations be upon the elect scattered abroad. May the election of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Lord willing, fall upon your houses. This is Brother Quanah Wath. Come back at you, Lord will, with the edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Lord will, it is edifying. Lord will, it is straight to the point. But I was just watching, Dallas Brothers live stream, man, and, one of the brothers, ultimately I pulled this precept out, Sirach the 18th chapter, the 24th verse, which we're going to grab, but I want to start here, man, because again, we have to be mindful, of the things that are ultimately approaching, we got Jacob's trouble, World War III, when Yahweh Shai is coming, the last three major prophecies in that order that are ultimately going to take place here soon, man. And again, we have to ultimately, first and foremost, examine ourselves, examine ourselves, whether we be in the faith or not, whether we're in the right spirit or we're doing, the things that are necessary in order to receive, one of two things, right? The blessing from the Lord, right? Which is the ultimately being forgiven of your sins, and being delivered, or you're going to receive that recompense for the your evil ways, man, which is, ultimately what Yahweh Shai is going to bring when he comes, right? Pursuant to Revelations, the 22nd chapter, beginning at the 12th verse, man. Yahweh Shai is coming to bring that reward, which again, you go into that word reward, it has, a dual meaning, a positive reward, right? A reward for doing good, and a recompense, right, for doing evil, and your mindset should be on receiving that reward, and the only way that you can receive that reward is by doing what the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai tells you to do, man. Meditate on the things that are coming, and ultimately prepare, right, properly, right, which is what you getting into these scriptures, man. You getting the proper breakdowns, from the true prophets, man. But this is 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1. It says, "This know also that in the last days, perilous times shall come." Right, and again, though that word perilous, right, ultimately goes into full of death, right, injurious, full of death. So the time that we're coming into, right, you're gonna see, it's like you're gonna see and have a lot of people ultimately get get killed, man. By many different ways, right? When that power goes out, first ones to go out are those who rely on technology in order to survive, right? The older folks, those who are dangerously ill, that need, like it was during this pandemic, people needed ventilators, people relied on this technology, right? All those people are ultimately going to be the first ones to go, right? And then after that, the chaos is just going to continue to increase and unfold, right? There's going to be, crime at all-time highs, which we're in the past like 20, 30 years, man, we're already seeing crime, at an all-time high, right? But how much more when all hell breaks loose, man, Again, we have to be mindful of these things that are coming, man. And again, we need to prepare ourselves, for what is coming, and again, we do that by getting into the scriptures, man, getting this, the true wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man, as it says. Matter of fact, we'll grab it. This is Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6. And I don't want to make this too long, man. I was ultimately, ultimately brought this precept out, man, just hit my spirit. I just hit the button, This is Isaiah 33 and 6. It says, "And wisdom and knowledge," right? And wisdom and knowledge, the wisdom and knowledge of this, the Most High's word, right? The true breakdowns, again, the true understanding that's given out by the true prophets, man, right? Which is, the elder apostles of Great Millstone, on down to the elder bishops, elders, and Akim that are pushing this gospel and truth and its sincerity today, man. Right? Those are the true prophets, right? And the Lord is, increasingly, the closer we get to Yahushai's coming, he's more and more making it more clear who he truly is dealing with, man. You just had the World Economic Forum just come out and tell and make a statement right on, I think it was on Twitter or something like that, saying that ultimately for you to be able to participate in society, you have to take an implantable C-hip, man, right? Which is something that the prophets, right, through the spirit and power, Yahweh Shem Shai, have been saying for decades, beginning with the elder apostles, for years, for decades, this information has been put out there, And again, that same information that they're putting out there through the spirit and power, Yahweh Shem Shai, is the information that you need to ultimately take heed to in order to be, again, properly, protected, in the times to come, because you taking heed to the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Shem Shai will ultimately equip you with the knowledge on how to properly act, and properly react, right, to situations that ultimately are going to arise, Isaiah 33:6, it says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. That's right, man. There's no other way that we're ultimately going to be, able to, be protected, and know what to do when these situations arise, but by taking heed to the words of Yahweh Shem Shai, man. That's how we're going to do it, man. You taking heed to this word will ultimately put a hedge of protection around you, so that way you can ultimately, walk smooth criminal, in the times to come. Jacob's trouble, World War III, and Lord will, we can endure all the way through those situations, right? To be delivered, when Yahweh Shai comes, man, So again, these are these things that we have to ultimately, meditate on, right? Are we doing what is necessary, to be found acceptable, right? To be delivered, right? To be protected, We have to meditate on the things that are coming, and if you're part of the elect, Lord will, that'll strike fear in you. And as it says in Sirach, which I'm going to end it with that Sirach, the 18th chapter, but this is Sirach chapter 2, and we'll start at verse 15. It says, they that fear the Lord will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways, right? Keep his commandments, man. We understand that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, And how do you obtain wisdom? Right, by keeping the law, statutes, commandments of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, following after righteousness, man. And in doing so, the Lord will impart wisdom unto you. Right? Verse 16 says, they that fear the Lord will seek that which is well pleasing unto him, and they that love him shall be filled with the law. That's right, man. So I want to go on here. It's Sirach, the 18th chapter, and we'll end it right here. Right, this is Sirach 18 and verse 24. It says, think upon the wrath. It's like it, think upon the wrath that shall be at the end, in the time of vengeance, when he shall turn away his face. And again, we need to meditate on these things, man. Meditate on, what the scriptures ultimately describe these times to look like, man. And again, when you start to meditate on these things, you really start getting into them, and you can envision them. Hey, that'll strike fear within you. And we understand that, again, the fear of the Yahweh Shem Shai will have you following the commandments to the best of your ability, man. And brothers are constantly meditating on the things that are come, man. Not only will it strike fear in you, right, to do what is necessary, but it'll also mentally prepare you, for these situations when they do arise. You're not gonna be shocked by them, You're not gonna be ultimately caught off guard, because you are meditating on these situations ultimately arising, man. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, you've been getting into the scriptures and finding out what you need to do, right? And the mentality and the spirit that you need to be in when these things happen, And ultimately, right, the number one key, the number one, the first thing that brothers is going to do is going to rely, trust, and believe on Yahweh Shem Shai when those situations come. That's going to be number one, and trust that he will ultimately guide, guide them through that situation, right? As it says in 2 Ezra 16th chapter, that he is a guide of them who keep his commandments, man. You know? So again, meditate on these situations, man. Don't let, the fear of these situations, ultimately stop you from meditating on them because you don't want them to arise, man. They're going to arise, right? Prophecy, doesn't stop just because you don't want it to happen, man. Prophecy is going to continue to happen no matter what. So meditate on these situations so that you can be properly prepared, for what is to come, man. And again, there's a balance. We meditate on these things, right? We also meditate on the miracles that the Lord will do for us, man. It's a balance, man. But I just wanted to, that ultimately weighed on my spirit, man. I just ultimately wanted to get that out. Lord will is edifying. Lord will, straight to the point. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Rachak Wadash, double honor to the elder apostles, the elder bishops, the great millstone. Till next time, I say shalom.